Today is Veterans Day, a day to set aside to thank and honor all of those who served honorably in the military in wartime and in peacetime. But here to share how you can really do that is the Michigan Veterans Affairs Agency Deputy Director, Todd Butler. Welcome into Studio 10.
Thanks for having me.
Yes, well, thank you for being here. We really appreciate it to kind of really talk us through the importance of Veterans Day. So let's just start right there. Why is it so important that we recognize a day for our veterans?
I think a little bit of the history of where Veterans Day comes from kind of sets the stage to answer that question. So during World War I, 1918, there was a temporary ceasefire between the Allied troops and Germany, and that was agreed upon by both sides to execute that ceasefire on the 11th hour of the 11th day of the 11th month. And in recognition of that, there's countries nationwide that have taken November 11th to recognize both that event and their service members. In the late 30s, the United States took that date and made it Veterans Day as a nationwide holiday, both to honor and pay tribute to all veterans, both living and deceased. I think it's vitally important for a number of reasons. One, we as a nation can never forget the sacrifices and the service that our military members have contributed to us being able to live the American dream, the American way of life. But in addition to that, it also reminds those who have never served in the military the value of things like duty and service and sacrifice. So it really is something that emphasizes both the veterans themselves and their recognition, but a reminder to the nation as well as how valuable and important our service members are.
No, I like that, and we need that. And you know, there's also so much showcasing support too. Out of those situations, we can show support. And how does the Michigan Veterans Affairs Agency really support veterans that really deserve it?
Okay, so that's our focus 365.
Right.
Every single day of the year, that's why we exist as an agency. Veterans, no matter what era they served or even what their character of discharge was or how many days they served, I like to tell everybody we're here for every person. If they served 1 day in boots or more, we're here to assist. And whatever it is that you have that is either you're in need of support or obstacles or roadblocks in your life, or you just want to get connected with benefits and resources, sometimes it's just connecting you with other veterans. So we have a number of ways that we do that. We have people that are out in the streets and the communities every day, partnering with local agencies, counties, other nonprofits, veteran service organizations across the state to help make sure that those individuals are connected to their resources.
That's so important. I'm so glad that you guys are able to do that. And I know you'll be hosting an annual Veterans Day recognition ceremony tomorrow over at Heritage Hall at the state capitol. So talk a little bit about, there's going to be a pinning ceremony. What is the impact of that?
So to use a sports analogy, especially with the way Lions are performing right now, so Veterans Month, the whole month of November, we call it our Super Bowl. That's our busiest time of the season, and that's really why we're here, right? To honor service members and their families and to provide them their needs and resources. So around Veterans Day, we tried to hold a Veterans Day recognition ceremony. Typically, we've held it at the Capitol and Heritage Hall. We have elected officials come in. We have uniformed service members that come in from the Michigan National Guard and other branches that are present. And then we really try to get as many veterans and veteran advocates to be a part of it as well. The pinning ceremony you spoke of is the Vietnam Veteran Recognition Pinning Ceremony. And a couple of years ago, there was a nationwide movement to remedy that and to put on these ceremonies that both recognize the service of our Vietnam veterans as well as to thank them for coming home and really make a big deal about their service, because they didn't get that like they should have when they got home. So it really is just an opportunity to recognize and pay honor to the individual veterans who served during the Vietnam era.
Thank you so much for everything, and remember, all that information of how you can support veterans, not just today, but year-round, is all on your screen. But thank you so much for coming in. We appreciate it.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me.